Hello. We're really glad that you found us.
We are a church family, made up of all sorts of people.
From different backgrounds, who loves Jesus.
Our desire is for people to know Jesus.
To know that they are loved by him.
And to be part of a family who do life together.
With Jesus at the centre.
We meet up every Sunday to worship.
And be family together.
All seeking to demonstrate Jesus' love to others through being
rooted in Christ and growing in love.
Yes, everything for you.
Whether you're familiar with church or not,
you are very welcome at One Christian Centre.
As we celebrate together,
we hope you engage with us.
As we make Jesus known.
No worries, thanks for having me. So hi guys, my name's Sam. I work for Müllers, which is the George Müller Charitable Trust. We're about 190 years old, started by George Müller himself. Part of my role is I'm the Youth and Children's Development Lead. I'm married to Rachel. We have Micah and Tally that I am daddy to. I love all things photography. We're shooting a wedding for a former young person yesterday, so I'm feeling a little bit old today. I love coffee, Star Wars and Formula One, and would happily chat with any of you about all of those things. I hope by the end of today, you guys will leave knowing a little bit more about Müllers, a little bit more about me and my role, as well as George Müller himself. Sound easy? Great. And hopefully you'll be a little bit inspired along the way. So George Müller, if you don't know much about him, he was an amazing guy, lived in Bristol for most of his life, was born in 1805 and died at the ripe old age of 92. Now George started off life as a little bit of a naughty teenager. Turns out he actually went to jail when he was 16 for not paying a hotel bill. And when he went to university, he met with Jesus and his life was transformed. Ended up moving to this country and became a missionary, a pastor, and evangelist. When he moved to Bristol, he believed God was telling him to three things: to preach the gospel, to house and care for orphans, and then don't ask anyone for money. He did all three things in his time in Bristol. And I wanted to do a little quiz for you guys to learn a little bit more about George Müller, but also means I'm not going to talk for ages. So the way it works is, if you think it's A, I want you to put your hands on your head. If you think it's B, I want you to put your hands on your shoulders. And if you think it's C, cross your arms. So everybody can take part, young and old. A, B, C. Nice and easy. And if you can get all the way through, keep count. I don't have any prizes, sorry, it's not that kind of quiz. But should we have the first question? So, George Müller was born in a European country, but which one was he born in? Is it A, Belgium, B, Italy, or C, Germany? Give you a couple seconds. A, B, or C? It is B. C. It is C. He was born in Germany, in a little town in Prussia, which is modern Eastern Germany. Number two, he was really, really good at keeping records. We have files all the way to the ceiling of them. In George's lifetime, he prayed over 50,000 prayers. But how many did he say had been answered in his book? The narrative on some of the dealings with George Müller. If I wrote a book, that would not be the title I'd choose, but George had the amazing tenacity to do it. Did he A, 30,000 out of 50,000, B, 25,000 out of 50,000, or C, 10,000 out of 50? Lock in your answers. A, B, C, lots of A's. It was 30,000, A. Hold on if you got it right. is amazing. I love that. It's more than half. In his lifetime, question 3, how many orphans did George care for in the orphanages? This number is bigger, but this is just in his lifetime. Is it A, 5,000, B, 2,000, or C, 10,000? Oh, look in your answers. Are you ready? It is C. 10,000 orphans he cared for in his lifetime. Each orphanage could hold about 400, and there was 5 of them. If you come to our museum, we're in the second of the 5 orphanages that he built up near Ashley Down. Number 4. Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee, back in the day, she gave £50, which was quite a lot at the time, to lots of organisations and people, and one of whom was George. But George didn't spend the money on himself. He spent it on the orphans. But did he A, buy all 2,050 orphans who were living in the... So 2,050 was the maximum they could have in all 5 orphanages at a time. Did he buy them all some new clothes? Did he take all of them to the zoo? Or did he take them all, give them a Christmas dinner? Lock in your answers. A, B, or C. New clothes, zoo, Christmas dinner. Are you ready? It is B. He took them all to Bristol Zoo. All 2,050 of them. I don't know how they quite fit at that time, but yeah, they went to the zoo. So for Queen Victoria, a little known fact, Queen Victoria paid for all of the orphans to go to the zoo that year. But there was a slight truth. If you did put C, you are also slightly right, because they always did have a Christmas dinner, and this was the Christmas pudding that would feed just one house, so about 400 people would share that massive Christmas pudding. They would also do presents and a big Christmas tree as well. There's lots of photos in our museum of Christmas was a big thing in the orphanages. At the age of 70, question 5, George Müller went on a preaching tour. Quite a retirement choice, really. Now, how many miles? He went for 17 years, travelling around the world, preaching. How many miles do you think he covered in that 17 years? A, 100,000, B, 200,000, or C, 50,000? Lock in your answers. It's B, 200,000 miles. He spoke to over 3 million people in that time. Quite a mind-boggling trip. Now, question 6. George did a lot of travelling in those years, but did you know he only used 5 modes of transport? So, do you think it's A, he went by boat/steamboat, train, horse and cart, donkey and walking? Or B, hot air balloon, train, goat, aeroplane and walking? Or C, blimp, that's like kind of the Goodyear blimp, bicycle, car, aeroplane or walking? Lock in your answers, A, B or C. It is A. Aeroplanes hadn't been invented, so he went everywhere by boat, train, horse and cart, donkey or walking. Just mind-boggling at age 70, going around just by doing that. It's amazing. Now, George was known as a very prayerful man. He didn't ask for money at all, and he shared all the needs that he had. But in his lifetime, how much money did he raise just through praying alone? Is it A, 10 million in today's money, B, 50 million in today's money, or C, 100 million in today's money? Which one do you think? We'll lock in your answers. It is C. That was 1.3 million at the time, but yeah, it kind of translates with inflation and all of those things. £100 million. Absolutely incredible. Relied on God for everything. And a little known fact for number 8. George Müller had a super immune system. He didn't get ill very often at all. According to his records, how many years did he go without missing a single speaking engagement? Is it A, 32 years, Is it B, 14 years, so that's like he was booked to go and preach at a place and he actually turned up, he wasn't ill or sick, or 57 years? Which one do you think? A, B, or C? 32, 14, or 57? Mind-bogglingly, it is C. He went 57 years without missing a speaking engagement. I don't know what he was eating, but definitely all the good stuff. To live to 92 in a time when there was a lot of sickness and big diseases. So as a charity still running today, we have a strategic vision. And we want to see churches in the Bristol and beyond free children from material, relational and spiritual poverty by supporting them to become lifelong followers of Jesus. I don't know about you, but I think actually knowing Jesus transforms my entire life. I am a better person, I'm more hopeful, and that's what we believe at Müllers. We want to do it through three ways. We want to free children from material, relational, spiritual poverty. We want to help focus people on Jesus, and then fueling leaders for mission. As a charity, we operate and we kind of are inspired by George's story. So a lot of what George did, we still do today, just slightly tweaking. So look at that lovely face. I also love this photo of George because he's got a little glint in his eye. I feel like he was a bit of a cheeky 92-year-old man. So as a charity, George, back in the day, cared for vulnerable children by running the orphan homes in Bristol. Today, as a charity, we are still caring for vulnerable children, but we're partnering with Christian initiatives around the globe. And the model of care for orphans changed in this UK, so we care for orphans across the world. George nourished the spiritual development of children through Christian education. He was one of the first orphanages in the country to actually give children an education, a Christian education at the time, and was quite well known for it. Today, we resource Bristol churches to aid the spiritual development of children in their community. It's part of what my role is kind of there for. Back in the day, George taught theology through preaching and teaching. He would often go around to churches across the Bristol region to speak in the pulpits. Today, we teach theology through the free training courses. We offer a digital one and an in-person one on a Tuesday. If you want any more information, come and chat to me afterwards. I can give you a little flyer to find out more. I can highly recommend. George shared the story of his work through annual reports every year, and travelling the world, sharing the gospel and sharing the story of how God had provided for his needs, and the orphans too. Today we share the story of our work through our museum and our annual reports, and through internet and social media. If you're on social media, we're at Müllers Bristol, and our website is www.mullers.org. We can have a little find out some more information on us. George Müller ran Sky, which is the Scriptural Knowledge Institute, to prayerfully and financially support missionaries across the globe. One of the missionaries that he supported was Hudson Taylor in China, very inland kind of missionary. And I found out recently that they were pen pals, and they would write and be an encouragement to each other because they'd both lost children throughout their lives. And lastly, George never asked for donations, but relied on prayer and faith for income. And today we still never ask for donations and rely solely on prayer. As a staff team, we meet every day, twice a day, to pray for church partners, for missionary partners, for Sky partners, as well as just ask and pray for funds to come in so that we can keep doing what we're doing. As part of my role, I headed up the kind of Illuminate Bristol tour, along with lots of other people. And can you spot a little friend here? I put Mark on just behind the barriers, and his face when I told him where he was going to be, he was giddy. It was brilliant. It was amazing. We had so LZ7, which is a band from London, and Saints kind of accompanied them, another band. Look them up on Spotify. They're quite good fun. We had 430 young people to the gig on the Friday night. And we roughly think about 4,500 students in 5 schools across Bristol. There's 21 assemblies that they ran in the schools throughout the week. And just saw it amazing. So at the end of the kind of gig, there was a moment where people could say, "Hey, you know what? I want to know Jesus." And there was so many hands went up, we couldn't even count them. And then they started chanting, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus." And all us leaders were like, "What?" God is really moving in this city and this place. So as part of my role, I meet up with youth and children's workers and church leaders to just say, like, "Hey, how are you guys? How can we support you in what you're doing? Because you're doing brilliant, brilliant work." Hasn't been one leader or church leader that I've met with that hasn't talked about the Quiet Revival, this little trickle of young people that have come into their doors. Someone was saying recently that there was a guy who just turned up, he'd Googled what it means to be a Christian, and going to church was part of that. Another had asked ChatGPT, what do I do if I want to know Jesus? And ChatGPT had told him, you need to go and find a church and get involved in a community. God's really on the move, and it's amazing. Another part of my role is the church partnerships. So I head up partnering with churches. We have 12, of which you guys are one of them. So just a thank you, and you guys are amazing. Like sitting here, one of the things that I was going to talk on, and we'll kind of come on to, and just to encourage you guys, I see the love that you all have for each other. John 13:35 says, "By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." And from my time here today, guys, I can see that you guys love each other so much, and just be encouraged by that. Keep doing it, because it shows Jesus. That anybody who walks in through the door sees how you guys are a family and goes, "Oh, yeah, I want some of that." So keep doing it. A part of my role, we have a new initiative that we're calling Every Child, Every Year. We want to partner with churches and organisations across the Bristol region to try and reach the 93,000 under 18s in the Bristol area with the gospel and the hope that Jesus brings. So I just asked, would you pray with us that we can reach that 93,000? Through various initiatives, Illuminate Bristol, and lots of other works of charities that we're kind of partnering with. But would you partner with us that we can reach every child every year with the gospel? If you want to find out more, have a little scan of this QR code. We can put it up later. There's a bit more information on our website as well as what that actually is. And if you haven't come before, please do come along to our museum. It's open weekdays, 10 till 4, and you'll find out, if you enjoyed this quiz today, you're going to love our museum. There's a lot more facts and amazing stories of just God at work and providing miraculously. I want to leave you with just one challenge at the end. There was a story in George's diary where he went to catch a train. He was going to go and visit someone, and they didn't have enough money for him to at the museum to be at the orphanages to be able to get the train fare. So he walked to the train fare. He knew he had to get there. He prayed and said, "Lord, will you please provide the money to be able to get on this train so I can go and visit this person?" As he was walking from the orphanage to the train, it's not quite a short distance, somebody stopped him in the street and gave him exactly the right change for the train fare. And I just want to challenge you, when was the last time you prayed a risky prayer like that? Of I need to get somewhere, I haven't got the change, I'm going to go in faith knowing that I've prayed and that God answers.